Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Komon. Happy Halloween. Make sure you guys check your kids' candy tonight. Make sure you teach your kids to check their own candy. Like I said, I want to tell a spooky story today because it's Halloween. So I'm going to go back to my past and tell a crazy, creepy story that I experienced when I was younger. So back in the day, there was a child abductor who called himself Homie the Clown, based off the Homie the Clown from In Living Color. Those of you who don't know what In Living Color was, it was a sketch show in the early 90s that was probably the funniest sketch show that ever existed. So this guy used to go around kidnapping kids and doing whatever with the kids. So everyone was on high alert, especially in my area. And I had got it in my mind that I wanted to kill this guy. So one morning I go in the kitchen, I get a butcher knife, throw it in my backpack. Back in the day, we had real flimsy plastic backpacks. I think I had a Batman one. So I threw it in there. I went to school. I hung out in school all day. I don't think I told anyone about it. I'm pretty sure I kept it to myself. So the plan was after I got out of school was to wait on a street corner and wait for this guy to eventually come abduct me. If he were to see me, he probably would have. I don't know. But if he had abducted me, my plan was to kill him. My plan didn't go much further than that, to be honest with you. I was really young. I just knew that if he got me, I would stab him. So while I was waiting, a real nice crossing guard by the name of Joanne, shout out to Joanne, still friends with her to this day. She seen me. She yelled for me to go home. It startled me. So I began to run. While I was running, the knife ripped through the bottom of my backpack and nicked the back of my leg. And so I fell. When she got me, she took me to the principal's office. Obviously, they were concerned. I mean, I don't remember how old I was. I had to have been about 10 years old. This was around 92. Yeah, 91 or 92. So I had to be about 10 years old. And obviously, they called my dad, and my dad was like, I'll take care of it. I'll deal with him at home. Nothing came out of it. It was a different era, a different generation. So, I mean, if that were to happen today, you guys know what would happen. It'd probably be on the news and things like that. But yeah, so nothing happened with that. And eventually they did catch the guy. I believe they caught him in an area that I was born at. It's called the Row on the south side of Chicago. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and give you guys like a brief history about me. I'm like Chicago South Side through and through. So I was born on the Row. After about a year living on the road, after I was born, I moved to a place called Englewood, which is a very, very, very dangerous, tough neighborhood. Still is to this day. I lived there for about 6 years, and since we're talking about Halloween, I used to have to cross over a bridge called the Damien Bridge. It was a very, very like rinky dinky, disastrous bridge that I mean, literally was riddled with potholes. I mean, it looked like a bridge in Baghdad back in the early 2000s during the war. It was absolutely a disaster. And it was a long trek for a little kid like me to walk miles upon miles over that bridge to go trick or treating in a nicer neighborhood in Brighton Park, where it was primarily mostly Polish, Italian, white people that all owned houses there and lived there. So, and I got better candy there. They were giving out Snickers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I wasn't gonna get any cheap candy. I was really excited about going there, but it was a hard mission. I was real young. It took a long time to go back and forth. And most of you know on Halloween in Chicago, it's usually kind of cold, windy, and a little rainy. So yeah, that sucked, but I got good candy. And then so after living in Englewood for about 6 years, I was back and forth between like 35th and Walcott and 35th and Western and Pilsen. So my father's from Pilsen, and at the time my mother lived in Bryant Park. So I was back and forth 1 week here, 1 weekend there, 1 week there, 1 weekend here. And eventually, after a couple years, I ended up staying in Pilsen, living with my father, and Pilsen's still my home to this day. So that's kind of my story. And again, I started doing graffiti at 13 years old. So I was kind of already living the outlaw life at a really early age. Um, yeah, I started driving. I got my first car when I was in middle school. I think seventh or eighth grade. I was already driving to school. Like I said, I was doing illegal graffiti. Got my first apartment, I think, when I was 17. So I grew up insanely fast, and that's pretty typical and not abnormal for like my era and generation in Chicago. A lot of us grew up a lot faster than we should have. A lot of us started committing crimes a lot sooner than we should have. Started drinking, doing drugs a lot sooner than we should have. But look at Greatest generation. I'm great now. Everything worked out. So yeah, so happy Halloween, everyone. I do want to say that nothing that happened back then I would change now. So that whole homie the clown scenario wouldn't change that. I mean, maybe. I think I could have got a kill. I could have got that kill and I feel a little bit better about myself. It was early 90s. I probably would have got away with it. So who knows? What do you guys think about that? Would you guys rather me kill him or stab myself? Because I stabbed myself. That was the first time I ever got stabbed and I did it to myself. Second time I got stabbed, I didn't do it to myself, and I didn't appreciate that very much. So here we go. I'm going to go into my graffiti honorable mention. My favorite graffiti artist of the day. It's going to be Rome from Chicago. Rome1, thank you so much for your beautiful art, brother. I had interviewed you before, and I do plan on getting you on here for an interview. You're dope. Everybody knows you're dope. You do gallery art as well. If you look up, you're going to see some photos of Rome's graffiti. He's old school. He was born in New York and eventually moved to Chicago in the real early 80s. So he has been doing graffiti for well over 40 years. Oh, he's definitely got me beat. He's older than me by at least 10 years. And he still looks good. So I'm not busting your balls, Rome. Not busting your balls. You look great, brother. So yeah, so Rome1, you are the honorable mention graffiti artist of the day. All right, enjoy that. Like I said, there is an interview with Rome. It will be out soon for all of you to see. I am still looking for more interviews to come out. So that's all I got for today. Nice, short, sweet. Have fun trick or treating. I'm going trick or treating. I already got my costume. That's right, Mega Man. That's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. But I'm not just gonna dress like Mega Man. I'm gonna smell like Batman. This stuff is amazing. I don't know if you guys ever smelled it or seen it anywhere, but there you go. I'm gonna be Cholo Mega Man though. It's gonna be pretty badass. All right, so that's all I got. Stay tuned. This is my blog for today, Komon Underground. If you guys have any spooky stories or anything you want to share, please share. Hit the comment button. Send me what you got to send. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. Share. Peace out. Thanks for watching.